Hi, I'm Adrianne Lickers Xavier, and I am currently the Acting Director of the Indigenous Studies program at McMaster University. I was one of the inaugural Pre-Doctoral Fellows at Queen's in 2018, and I want to share with you a bit about my experience. I applied and found out that I got the opportunity to go to Queen's, to move there. It's about 4.5 hours from my house where I am now. I was going to be on campus, and I actually ended up teaching in the fall. So the program offered me a few different things, and I'm trying to touch on as many things as I can without having a super long video. What I got to do was teach. I was in the Global Development Department, and I had the opportunity to attend department meetings, understand a bit more about the faculty and how that process works. I got to meet a lot of new people. I got to spend time with the community generally and the Indigenous community on campus, students, faculty, and staff. And I really got to make connections with people and understand what it meant to be part of the academic world. I don't think I could ever replace that opportunity, and I'm still very grateful for that. As I said, I'm now the acting director of the Indigenous Studies program, and I don't think I would have been quite as prepared if I hadn't gone through that experience. I had been teaching prior to that, but at Queen's, I really had the chance to understand my place as an instructor within a faculty. I got to meet people. I got to know a bit more about the structure of the university, administration, and I really just took to the opportunity. I can't tell you enough about how that whole year really changed things for me. Being a graduate student is very hectic and busy, and all of the things that we know the world is, even right now. But being part of the pre-doctoral program actually gave me a real feel for what it means to be in the academy as a part of it, not as a student in it. When you're planning to stay, it's a very different process and a different feel. One of the things that I really liked about being in that program was the relationships I made, the friendships, the people that I met, the chance to enhance my education because I was able to read things, meet people, be exposed to academics that I maybe wouldn't have just sheerly by being close to them. I got to meet some people that had written articles that I've been reading for years, and I actually got to spend time and see them and ask them the questions that I'd always wondered. I really enjoyed being on the campus. I enjoyed being able to engage with the other pre-docs, the students that I had, and the faculty that I met. There's a couple of things that I would always urge people to do. For me, at Queen's, it was the first time I'd ever heard of one in Canada. I knew about one that was in the States, but I didn't know that there was one in Canada. That was this kind of formal program. And first of all, I will give the same advice to anybody. Apply. It literally can't hurt to ask the question. On the other side of that, once you get there, I will urge you to get involved. That's the biggest thing for me, is build the relationships, get to know the people. If there are other pre-docs, get to know the department that you're in. I really appreciate now the number of people that I met, the department meetings, and seeing the university from the inside. It really did very much change my, not so much that it was a change of perception as it was a change in my perspective on what kind of academic I wanted to be, how I felt about my own research, and it really gave me an opportunity to feel supported. It was the first time in my graduate studies that I had actually been only working on my education. I had always worked full-time, so that was always a piece that was an underlying part. And it was actively at the forefront of my mind. So when I got to Queen's, this was a real step outside of my usual. And I appreciate that now more than I realized, I think, at the time. The students that I had, I still have connections with. I have met some of the most fantastic people. And I'm so proud to see them moving on in their studies and traveling all over the world to do their graduate work. That to me was so impactful and meaningful that they still reach out. They let me know how they're doing. I get to have that follow up with them, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. It's one of the things about being a professor that I have always enjoyed and looked to. One of the things that I want to explain is that when I arrived, I went to so many welcome events. I met so many faculty and staff, Indigenous students. Go to Four Directions. Take the opportunity to meet the people who are there and really give yourself a chance to be immersed in the life that you are at. I don't think that I didn't miss those opportunities, but I don't think I appreciated them at the time. And looking back, I definitely know that those were some of the highlights for me of that whole opportunity and experience. I will say, on the other side of all of this, very exciting, it's a daunting task to think to yourself, this year is for completing. This year is just for my work. Don't let that scare you away, and don't think that that it's not as exciting as it could be. It definitely is. I don't want to stay all day. I could talk about this for a long time. I have chatted with other people about it. I'm always telling people about the opportunity, because Indigenous graduate students, we seem to all find each other. We're not always that common in the graduate sphere, and we need to support each other. And that, for me, is what this is about. Really being supported and taking the chance to be successful. I hope that you guys are interested. If you have questions, of course, I'll be checking in. With Queens, they're having some sessions, and I can't recommend this enough. Like I said, I learned a lot. I enjoyed myself, and I'm a part of the academy in a way that I originally had only hoped. It was definitely well worth the risk of applying, which was more scary than the event. It was a positive experience. I very much enjoyed myself, and the relationships I have are going to be lifelong. I have met so many people and appreciated it. I hope you guys really consider this opportunity as something that will be very valuable to you. It was very valuable to me.